There he is.
Hey!
What's up, dudes?
Harrison.
Okay, better. Right.
Your spot looks so cool. You guys got those badass...
You look like a young Billy Idol, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine one awesome band, one awesome song, and an app that creates a radio from that song. So now we have a new playlist with songs from different bands. The algorithm brought us together. We heard those songs, we contacted those bands, and then we heard what those bands had to say about themselves. So we have here the Fuzzy Bumble.
I got stuck, need a bump on the chest. Broke her heart the other day, hope it's for the best. A shrill
From Boston, I think. Are you from Boston?
Okay, well, I'm in Boston. Nikki's in Austin.
Oh, really?
We're from Boston.
Where are you guys from originally?
Yeah, Boston.
Boston, okay. So you have the North condiments and the South condiments on your music.
Yeah. Mostly Boston.
Tell me about the track. I love the track because it's like the 2000s punk British sound like Arctic Monkeys, but I can find Annie Flag and maybe punk rock bands from the 2000s on your sound. Tell me about the sound of your band.
Yeah, I feel like, especially on that song, we were really going for like the rock thing, a lot like you guys. You know, just guitars and drums and bass, nothing new, nothing too fancy. I'd say we're experimenting a lot more now, but for that track is definitely, you know, the roots of rock and roll.
for you, I'll be waiting on the bathroom floor. You know, I ask, emancipating from your heart to grasp and say, would you want it any other way?
It's like groovy and you can dance and you can headbang in. It's like, okay, this is a rock sound from the 2000s, but we are in 2023. And one thing I saw of your band on Spotify, at least, it's like you have singles, not records, just like us. It's like it's an issue right now on 2023 for bands, for rock bands, or it's like, okay, this is what industry asks for and whatever, or you want to make a record from now on?
Yeah, we had all of the songs done at the same time, and we were originally going to release them as an album, but we got some advice that was basically like, each time when you release an album, that's one release, that's one experience and one time to get people interested. When you release, you know, each song individually, that's going to be like 13 different opportunities to get new people in, to make posts about, to get people excited about. So we could have done it as an album, but we chose not to, just because we thought it would actually give us more content for a longer period of time.
But when you started to record those songs, do you imagine it like a record or individually every song?
Yeah, so as a record, if you go to our Spotify page, we have a playlist called Fuzzy Bumble 1.
Yeah.
And we just released Stray Cat and the Maniac. So that was the last song that we recorded for Fuzzy Bumble 1. So you can sort of listen to it that way if you want to hear how we were imagining the songs flowing into each other.
Because it's free. Breathe easy and dance with me.
Yeah. So that's a.
So you have the
I can send
concept.
you guys that link.
You have the concept right there.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's not separate. It's like, okay, we have a new concept from every fucking song, and then we put it together not as a record, but as a single.
Yes, essentially yes. We actually have an album coming out probably in May or June. We're just mixing it now, and we're waiting on the animation. And that's a concept album, so we're gonna release that as essentially an album. I think we'll do like one song each week, but those songs all very specifically tell the same story.
I'm into you. You buckle on your onyx shoe. I feel it click and I hold you too. Clasping at the waist, yeah.
Have you recorded
That's for
all
sure.
the album right now?
Yep. Whole album. We're on revisions for mixing, and it's just about ready to go to master. Let's say just a few more revisions.
Okay.
And
How many
it's done.
days of recording do you have?
the first album was like 200 hours in the studio. That was insane.
200 hours?
200 hours.
How many days are
It was a lot of time.
It
was a lot of time.
right? 18 días.
10 days? 15 days?
15.
20 days?
Yeah, 20 days.
My
20
God.
days.
20 days, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2 to 3 songs, 2 to 3 days per song, I would say, roughly.
Have you produced yourself or you have a producer?
We have a producer, Ed. His name's Ed Velasquez. He's great. We love Ed.
Oh,
Takes
right.
good care of us.
He's a renamed guy or it's a friend of yours?
Ed is sort of runs the studio that we record at.
Right.
So we met him formally when we went to go tour the studio, but Harrison and I, growing up, had a music teacher who's a big part of like the Boston and Lowell music scene, and so we're sort of friends through that as well.
Right.
Sort of know a lot of the same people.
How many members on your band right now are?
We've got 3. We've got Nicky, myself, and our drummer, Ethan.
Right. And what do you play?
I play bass and I sing.
And you, Nick?
Just guitar. Just guitar.
guitar.
Just guitar.
Just guitar.
And I sing when I have to, like on the
And-
album.
Yeah, you like
Oh!
you kind of like the Police right now because
Boston.
You're people. This guy looks like Sting right there. It's like Billy Idol and Sting. Maybe this guy doesn't look at all as Andy Summers, but he has our own identity right there. You know.
I wish. That's high praise. That's a lot to live up to. But Harrison is right. I did play vibraphone and the door. We have a door in our most recent album, which
Yeah,
sounds
like
awesome.
Like a door.
Tell me about the influences about your kind of style, because I think when you write music you have references but about everything, but I think you have influences. Tell me about the influences.
I was actually just listening to this cool band called Capybara. No, I seriously, I turned on one of your songs and
I really love that answer.
Yes, straight up. No, I turned
So
on one of your
British.
songs and I was like, oh my god, this sounds exactly like Dinosaur Jr. Have you ever heard of Dinosaur
Oh,
Jr.?
thank you so much, dude. That's a gift right there. That's a gift.
Dude, I love Dinosaur Jr. and I'm always trying to I'm always trying to get Nicky to play fucked up guitar parts like Dinosaur Jr.
Well, you know what? Our producer, he's a huge producer here. His name is Alejandro Taranto. He's a huge producer here from rock and roll bands and heavy rock bands. And he's an old school. He's so old school. And the sound of Dinosaur Jr. right there, it's like the fuzzy, right now. You know, it's like the distortion and guitar. He tried to do that with us on the first 3 songs we recorded with him, you know? And
That's so cool.
It's kind of cool because when I hear you guys and your music, it's like you can hear rock and roll, but you have a lot of style. You know, it's like you can hear 2000s and 90s and maybe some of the dancing 80s. So that's my question. It's like you have references, you have influences of all time, or you have a specific influence to record an album
think-
or write a song.
Yeah, for me, I've never sat down to like write a song with a very specific influence, but I think I'm always very much influenced by what I'm listening to. So like one of the songs that Nicky just mentioned, Stray Cat and the Maniac, I was listening to a ton of Dinosaur Jr. when we were putting that song together. But yeah, for me, it's not like an intentional thing. So I would say a plurality of influences go into each of those tracks.
When did you grow up with rock and roll? Your father listened to rock and roll. Your oldest brother, your friends. How's the story right there?
My
What's the
musical
story?
history is like
Your nanny, maybe.
no, I feel like my influences are cursed. I was really into the Beatles as a kid. So okay, that's a good start. Beatles are cool. And then I got really into Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, I
and
love
Nickelback. And
Nickelback? Everybody hates
Yeah.
Nickelback,
No,
I think.
I love Nickelback.
But they sing Nickelback on the shower. So you have Beatles, you have Nickelback, you have, what did you say?
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi,
Mhm.
Bruce Springsteen,
Yep. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then what?
And then what? Where do you go from there?
And what
I'd say
about
those
you,
are
Nick?
like-
What about
Those
you,
are
Nick?
like my core.
Wait, what? I had no idea. This is all new to me. I met Harrison when we were like 13, so this must have happened before then.
That was all before then. Yeah, that was when I was a child.
Got it.
So when did you start the band? When did you think, okay, we have to make a band, we have to make records, we have to write songs? When was that?
2017, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Right.
What happened there?
2017. Harrison had been at college, and I was at music college, and Harrison was in. You were in bands. I was in bands, but then you started writing music, and not for your band, just sort of for yourself. We're like, oh, these songs are sweet. And then that summer, you wrote a bunch more songs, and then. Yeah, it was sometime during that summer we were like, okay, these are cool. Let's make an album. And then that fall we went on a trip together, and on that trip more songs came, and we were like, all right, it's band time. Let's let's really put these together.
And what about the process? Because I think you have a process to write music together. Maybe one of you comes from with a demo or something, and hey, I have write this and listen to this, and we put it together, and then we record it together. How's the process with your music?
So at the beginning, it was a lot of demos. It kind of, there's a few different ways. Like there's the demo way, which typically will come from Harrison recording guitar and vocals. There's another way where Harrison will sort of play guitar and vocals in real life, and we'll work on something. There's another way where I'll make some super stupid guitar part, like specifically, I think Plumber's Fantasy and I Don't Like to Dance were songs where I had a guitar part that I liked and made Harrison write words to. Those are the most standard ways. It's not. We've never sat down, the three of us, in a room and jammed and sort of come up with a song. They've all sort of come from separate places.
All right.
Typically through the demo process, through the recording
And then you
process.
put it together.
And then finally we get to the studio, and in a sense, we'll copy paste a lot of stuff from the demos, but we'll also bring in, keyboards, a backup vocalist, so that will kind of cause changes to happen naturally as you leave space or find cool things in one instrument or another.
Well, that's the funny thing about bands and music, because most people think that you got to the studio and okay, we recorded. No. We had a demo, and then it's copy paste. I mean, 50% of the song it's just right there, and then you put it together to sound better, right?
Exactly.
And, and you have a live audience right there. You have a community building or something.
No, we don't really play live. We played live more in like the first year and a half of the band, and then COVID hit, of course. But
yeah.
I don't know. We've seen it's possible to be a band and to play a lot and to grow a community and to grow a fan base, but it's really, really hard. It's like it's 100% of your time and commitment, and you're traveling, and it's a lot of people. And I think, I mean, Harrison's got a job and a fiance and a mortgage.
How old are you?
And Ethan tours full time. Like, he also has to make money. And like, it's just not feasible for us to spend that much time. So we're really focusing like on the online community and sort of reaching out to people we think are interested, just like because we don't have to focus solely in Boston, which is like a really difficult market to penetrate.
Oh, really?
We can go like, yeah, it's tough. And
why?
But it's like if our goal is like fans and streams and, you know, followers, like we can go worldwide, and we've had just so much success, especially in like Latin America. People just really like really, really good fans who like to comment a lot and share and follow. And it's just been like a larger audience, I suppose, to reach.
Right there. We have, the funny thing is, we found you guys through Spotify because our song, we have a song called Stoned, and you know, when you play just one song on Spotify, then Spotify put the radio of the song. And then you show up on the radio playlist of our song, and it was like, what the fuck with this band? It's amazing. It sounds really good. So here's the thing. I think your goal right now is try to reach more people through your music, not lifestyle, because you can play live right now. I get it, but your music is talking about through you. You know, it's like, okay, we have to reach more people. Maybe not in the States because it's hard. Apparently, I don't know why, but you can explain why. But I don't know why.
No, I mean, I can explain why. I think it's a multiple of things, and one is something that I'm super guilty of, where, you know, I don't think that smaller bands, like people will listen to a smaller band and be like, that's neat, and then not play you again. And I think that there's like, in the US, not everybody, but a lot of people sort of want to like listen to has a lot of like listeners too at the same time. I'm the same way. I don't know why. And I think that, I don't know, maybe people elsewhere are more open to giving bands a shot, or perhaps it's purely a numbers thing. If we go outside the US, we reach more people, and you know, reaching more people is more of an opportunity that you find those people who are willing to give bands a shot. I'm sure it's a little bit of both. And additionally, one of the ways that we reach people is with like promoted posts of our songs and videos. And it can be exceptionally expensive to limit those campaigns to the US. And once again, I don't know if the reason, like, it's like a chicken or egg thing. Like, I don't know if the reason that it's expensive to get
because we totally get it, dude. What are you saying right now is totally, we totally agree with you, because it's expensive, it's hard, it's difficult, and then we are right now on the mainstream era. So we are mainstream hostages, you know? It's like, okay, I'm sorry, if you are not mainstream, it's like, ah, man, this is hard, you know? Because back in the day, I think when you have less resources to find music, it's like, okay, we try everything because we wanna find new music and whatever. Now it's like, okay, mainstream, and that's it. And that's not it at all, because hey, we are here. Look, we have here Fuzzy Bumble right there. It's like, okay, we Capybara and a whole continent of bands right there on everywhere. It's like when you talk about the expensive, how expensive it is to invest on your band and publicity and whatever you name it. It's like, okay, people start to sing, you know, people start to watch, because if you don't watch the band, if you don't listen to the bands, maybe you lose a whole different way to see the world. You know, it's like, okay, you have Dua Lipa, whatever, you know, Arctic Monkeys or whatever, Bruce Springsteen, that's right there. But there's a lot of bands, a lot of artists right there that are trying hard to reach more people. And this is the thing. We came from Argentina, you came from Boston, and we have the same issues to put the music online, you know? It's like on not online, just online, because you want to play records on the radio, you have to play records on the social media or whatever. People try to listen right now, are trying to find new music, because I think we have a problem here in Latin America called trap. I don't know if you know it. You don't know it? Harrison, you don't know trap?
Oh, the issue is the music genre trap. Okay, yeah.
I fucking love you. Right now. We have this problem called trap and reggaeton, and that shit, it's everywhere. And what's the problem? The problem is that the word, it works like this. Okay, Latin America, okay, reggaeton, and maybe trap, and maybe, I don't know, what is it? What do you know about Latin American music? Because I think it's right now it's all reggaeton.
That's interesting. We have like a little Discord of a little Discord channel, and there's a music recommendations section, and I got a lot of music recommendations from people in Latin America and even Argentina and such. And there is such cool like music, like rock music, other type. I mean, I'm sure that's specifically like the people that are interested in Fuzzy Bumble are also interested in, you know, this other music that we find awesome. But there's a lot of really, really, really cool music.
Well, thank you guys, because that's the thing. I think most people have to do that. You know, it's like find new music, because it's still there. It's still there. And whatever, rock, pop bands, whatever, you name it. Try to find new music, because Spotify and whatever platform you name, it has a lot of new bands like you guys, like us, or whatever, that trying to put new music and new sounds. Because I don't want to sound like, I don't know, the bands I like. I try to put our own identity on our music, and I think you're trying to. It's like you want to try like you want to sound like you don't want to sound like any other band. So the thing is, if you don't try to find new music, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, because it's dead. It's dead right there. So as I said before, we are mainstream hostages right now, because everything is mainstream, and even then we're trying to put our music on a mainstream platform, because it's like you have to put money to invest in your music and whatever. So thank you guys for listening music from outside the world, because it's important to us, you know.
Yeah. No, there's great music. I mean, I don't know. I subscribe to there's great music everywhere, and you know, lots of different genres, but it's just tough to find. And you're right, it's not mainstream, so we'll probably never never find it.
What's
most of
your favorite music right now?
Right now, that's a good question because I spent like the last 100 hours of listening to music, listening to our most recent album.
How many hours? How many hours per day you listen to music?
I don't want to talk about it. I listen to our songs like, I don't know, probably 1 to 3 hours a day. I listen to it a lot. It is like, I don't even know how many thousands of hours with the first album. This one's going quicker, but it's a lot.
Nicky's the master of doing the really deep listening, where you're just got your headphones in, and you're closing your eyes, and you're really listening to every little detail, and like pausing it and saying, no, right there. There's a little click. Do you hear that?
Oh my god. Yeah, it was like revision 24 on the first album with like overload or something. And I was like, there's a click here. The mixer's like, there's not. I'm like, there it is, I swear.
How you listen to stuff that doesn't there? It's like, oh no, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god.
So tell me about. I want to know what do you do for a living?
Harry?
I work as a software engineer.
Oh really?
I live in. Yep.
Our drummer is a software engineer.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. We're everywhere.
So you earn a lot of money, right?
I make a lot more money from software engineering than I do.
Don't make it me. Don't make it.
Okay. And what do you do, Nick?
I grew up like in the food business. I started a candy company as a kid. It's like a healthier alternative candy company. So we're in like Whole Foods and some Costco's and Target and whatnot. So that's cool. And then I went
You're a
to
legit business owner child.
Oh yeah, like a business young man.
which is cool. And then I went to Berkeley College of Music and thought I wanted to get into. But I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went there. I thought I'd want to play, and then I thought I'd want to be an engineer. And then COVID hit, and everything went remote, and it kind of sucked.
Kobe, dude. Fuck Kobe.
Yeah, it sucked. And then I sort of realized, though, I was like, well, the thing I want from music is just like playing with Harrison, playing with Ethan, making our own music, and just doing that. So spending a good bit of time on this band, and loving it, loving the music, loving the fans. And
how old are you
opportunities.
guys?
It's great. 26.
Yeah.
26.
26 both?
Yeah, we're like 3 days apart.
Oh really?
Really?
I forgot I turned 20. I forgot we turned 26.
Yeah, like a year ago, like half a year ago.
Hip jump to Sunday brunch, sun setting on my lovesick.
What kind of instrument you have?
Well, for the tracks, we mostly use. What did we use? Well, the first album, I used like every guitar I could possibly think of. I brought them all. There was like 8 guitars, 10 guitars or something, and like 5 amps.
Just
And then the
ask
second-
every fucking guitar
Just for
player.
one song. Just for
Yeah,
one
it was
song.
like, yeah, no, like
Just for one part of the
Daylight.
song.
If you listen to Daylight, there's probably like 7 or 8 different. Probably at least 8 different guitars, because you got the distorted parts doubled, and the clean parts doubled, and the acoustic doubled, and the Nashville guitar doubled, and then you got like the solo guitar 1 and the solo guitar 2, and then the choral sitar. So it's like, it's a lot. I think on the most recent album, I mostly used just a Strat and whatever they had lying around the studio, because I was like, well, I could bring all these guitars, or I could just bring like a few and let the pros kind of,
Yeah.
set up the sounds. They'll make it sound good, and I don't know. Gear has become maybe it's project specific. I think the first album we really had it down. Like we released the first album off from our demos.
Yeah.
So everything was there, and then we re-recorded it. We were like, it doesn't sound good enough, so we really knew what we wanted each part to sound like. But now I think we go in with a little bit less preparation and a little bit more openness to having it sound however they want. I know you're usually using the P bass or jazz bass or.
Yep. Yeah, it's usually our producer Ed's jazz bass. It's pretty awesome. It's one of these like old things from the 80s. I actually used an upright bass on one of our latest tracks that we haven't released.
Really?
Here's something that sounds out of tune and pretty bad.
It's on 2 songs, Harrison.
It's on 2 songs.
It's on 2 songs. It sounds good.
It's
Harrison
a
never
toy.
played
It's
upright.
a toy. It's a toy.
There's like an upright in the sitting area outside, and Harris was like, I want to use this. But, like, you don't know how to play upright. And he's like, I played once in college or something.
So if you have to define your sound, how you define it?
Our like individual sound or our band sound?
Both.
I would go chaotic for both.
Yeah,
Like
really?
very,
not bad.
like we, for the first album, when the pianist showed up, James, he's awesome. He was like, this music sounds like a mix between the Decemberists and Rush. And we were like, wow, that's like right on. Like, I learned every Rush song growing up, and Harrison, you listen to the Decemberists a good bit, right?
Suddenly you're from Canada. We're from fucking
Yeah,
Canada.
We're like, we could be from anywhere. Like,
Blame came in.
it gets really chaotic, I guess. It's not chaos in like an outrageous sense of what am I listening to. It's more in a, I mean, songs will have 2 or 3 different vibes in
Sure.
each song, and
Sure.
you know, Harrison will draw his inspiration from, you know, his pool of bands that he loved to listen to, and I'll draw it from mine, and it just makes a weird, sometimes unique sound, I would say.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, guys, we hope to meet you next year. I think we try
We are
to.
planning to go to
We're
USA.
trying to,
Yeah.
to go to the States, so
yes.
maybe we can meet you and play together. I don't know.
Where to? Where are you going?
First California, but then the world.
Oh, the whole country.
Because we have a friend in California, actually a musician, a good musician actually, called Ronnie King. He's the keyboard player from The Offspring and I think Rancid and.
I know he's playing it with
sick.
person.
Oh, right now he had a gig with Pearl Jam, I think, in Seattle.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I know.
Ah.
So this guy played keyboards and piano on one of our songs. This song, Stone, what I was telling you
Yeah,
before.
I just listened to that recently.
Well,
Yeah.
those pianos and keyboards are playing with him, so by him. So
That's so.
pretty rad, right?
Did he come to you, or did he record it separately and then?
Yes, because he's a good friend of our producer. So he came on.
No, he recorded in USA.
He recorded
sent
over
us
there.
the tracks.
And then he came to
play live with us.
Hazte un pollo, boludo. To play live with us right there. It's like the first show of our band, he came to play with us. You know?
That's so
That was
cool.
sick.
So dope.
That was pretty
Yeah,
rad.
hopefully we can come to you as well. I mean, I know at some point, like, a Latin America tour or show or something would just be like so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
an hybrid
cool.
thing. It's hybrid because it's in one hand you have the fans and a lot of rock fans. It's like the passion and whatever, and then you have the fucking trap and the reggaeton.
The trap.
What's that?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable because we have a lot of fans of rock and roll music. It's like it's right there, dude. But the focus right now of the industry is in trap and whatever. But we're trying to change that, you know?
Yeah, well, there can be both. They can live in harmony, maybe.
No. We're trying to kill that. No. To the ground.
Capybara is not a painful animal. Well, guys,
Thank you
They
so much,
guys are-
guys. Thank you
very
so
much.
Thanks so much.
We're trying
Great to
to
meet you guys.
reach you next year, okay? Congratulations on the new
Yeah.
album. Best of
can't
luck
wait.
of that on that, okay?
Can't wait to share it.
Can't wait too. Can't wait either.
right,
Bye.
see ya.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.